Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदा जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
To formally welcome everyone and provide insights into this program, we now invite the FDP coordinator, Dr. Achal Kaushik, to address the gathering. Dr. Achal Kaushik is a respected academician and an integral part of BPIT, who has played a pivotal role in organizing this FDP.
Please join us in welcoming Dr. Achal Kaushik to deliver the inaugural address.
Evening, everyone. On behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Bhagwan Parshuram Institute of Technology, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this 6-day online faculty development program on innovative applications and ethical considerations of artificial intelligence in modern research. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our visionary leader, Shri Vinod Vats, Chairman of BPIT, whose unwavering support and forward thinking vision have been instrumental in enabling initiatives like this FDP. His guidance inspires us to pursue excellence in education, research, and innovation. BPIT, affiliated with Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, is a premier institute dedicated to nurturing talent and fostering academic excellence. The NBA accredited Department of Computer Science and Engineering has been at forefront of integrating modern technologies into its curriculum, encouraging innovation and producing industry-ready professionals and researchers. We are proud to organize this FDP as part of our ongoing efforts to contribute to cutting edge research and professional development. Artificial intelligence has become a cornerstone of modern technological advancements, offering transformative solutions across diverse domains such as healthcare, finance, and education. However, along with the opportunities, it brings ethical responsibilities that we must address thoughtfully. This FDP has been designed to provide a holistic understanding of AI's innovative applications while fostering critical discussion on ethical considerations such as bias, accountability, and privacy. Over the next 6 days, we are privileged to host an extraordinary lineup of speakers, including distinguished academicians and seasoned industry professionals, who will guide us through insightful sessions and discussions. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to the AICT Training and Learning Academy for sponsoring this program and supporting our vision of creating impactful learning opportunities. To all participants, your presence here demonstrates your commitment to professional growth and your interest in harnessing the potential of artificial intelligence responsibly. I hope this FDP will serve as a platform for enriching knowledge, sparking innovative ideas, and fostering collaborative learning. With this, I officially declare the Faculty Development Program open. Thank you all once again for joining us, and I look forward to an engaging and enlightening journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Achal Kaushik, for your inspiring words and for setting the tone for this program. Your insights have beautifully highlighted the objectives and significance of this FTP.
We now move forward to the inaugural session featuring our esteemed speakers who will share their thoughts on the transformative potential of artificial intelligence and its ethical considerations.
A heartfelt thank you to all the distinguished speakers for being a part of this inaugural session. With this, we move forward to the technical sessions of day one. Our first session is titled Introduction to AI History, Evolution, and Future. This session will lay the groundwork for understanding the development of artificial intelligence, exploring its history and evolution, and offering a glimpse into the possibilities that lie ahead.
We are privileged to have Mr. Kailash Sharma, Development Manager at Bank of America, as the speaker for this session. With an esteemed career of over 22 years, Mr. Sharma will guide us through AI's historical milestones and highlight its future potential.
Without further delay, let us warmly welcome Mr. Kailash Sharma to lead us through this session.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Vidatri and Swarika. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. So, uh, okay, so actually, first we can start from the gratification, obviously. So, I'm really thankful for the college BPIT for approaching me and providing me the opportunity to be part of this knowledge sharing sessions. So, thank you very much, and I wish. All the good luck in advance for your 6 days session and congratulate to everyone who is part of this event. So can we start from now? Can I share my screen and start the session or we have something else to do with Atri?
So you can start the session.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen and please let me know if my speed is fast or I need to take some pause or in case audience has some questions in between. Okay, so please let me know. I'm going to share my screen now. So basically, I have prepared the PowerPoint presentation, which I'll walk through. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So this is the first lecture, introductory lecture of this AI events sessions. So my topic is Introduction to AI History, Evolution and Future for ATAL Online FTP being conducted at BPIT New Delhi. this is my introduction. As you know, my name is Kailash Sharma. I'm currently working with Bank of America and located at Hyderabad. My designation in bank is Assistant Vice President, and I have 23 plus years of experience. And my previous employers are ST Microelectronics, Accenture, and Infogain India Private Limited. And my interests including are exploring software technologies, playing badminton, teaching kids, and cooking. This is not only my kids. I teach many kids actually. So starting with this, the very first point is what is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is basically we are making machine to learn, to have some reasoning, to do the problem solving, understanding natural language, and understanding the environment. So once any machine is having, we can say that is AI powered machine or AI model. So artificial intelligence is a broad field of computer science that focus on creating an intelligent system capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. So basically, we are trying to trying to articulate the human intelligence in the machines so that machines can try or can start acting like humans. And we are trying to build the intelligence in the machines so that they can start thinking and take some decision, help human being in the problem solvings. So artificial is that area. And inside artificial, we have machine learning, which needs lots of training data. We feed the training data to the model, and the model recognize all that data and keep it inside itself. And we need the computational power also, the heavy computational power to process that data. And we need some algorithm program to analyze or to process that data. So basically, uh, basically the machine learning is that we can say that if a newborn baby, okay, newborn baby, after some time starts recognizing the things. He sees first time he sees apple, and then again he sees apple, again he sees apple multiple times. So he prepares some image in the mind that the thing, the object which is red and round in color is called apple. And when next time if you provide multiple fruits in a plate or in a basket, it can easily identify which one is apple. So basically, it has learned from the experiences. So multiple times it has recognized the apple, and that is why it is able to identify the apple. So the same way machines are learning. So apart from the machine learning, we have another subset called deep learning. So which is basically based on the neurons. The neurons which are working in the human brains on the same pattern, this neural network is working. And based on this neural network, deep learning model is working. So this neural network is basically the layers, multiple layers are processing the data one after the other. So one input we are providing, it is going to one layer, first layer, then it is going to further layers and finally output. And this number of layers is dependent on the efficiency of the model, that how much efficient we want the output from this model. So the processing and this system is called the deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning that focuses on the teaching computers to learn and make decisions by processing data through neural networks. So it is little bit advanced model what we get from the machine learning. So deep learning is providing a little bit advanced model as compared to the machine learning. And this model, this neural network is inspired by the human brain. The same way human brains is working by using the neurons, passing the signals to one another, and then the decision, final decision is made of. Like when we see some object, it goes to the first layer, and then the signals are passed to the second layer, and for the last, it reaches to the core part of our brain where we decide what we are seeing, which object we are seeing. So the intelligence is a superset where machine learning is the subset of AI and deep learning is the another subset of machine learning. Next, we can discuss that how AI is working. Like human learns from this experience, same way our AI models also learns from the experience. Experience means we 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 process the data, same data again and again with the different images or different varieties of data. So it learns from those images, and then when we ask next time, it is able to finalize which object we are talking about. Like we are providing the number of plants, the different images of plants. Okay, so basically the AI model is recognizing and categorizing that it is a plants we are providing as a raw data, as a input data, and then it is making the decision when we are asking by providing any new plant, so that it can go back to the information or to the experience what it has observed in, I mean, by 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 the different images of the plant we have shared with it or we have given the input. So it is able to make the decision that this particular thing is plant. So that is how it start learning. Now coming to the history of the AI. So this is basically started from 1950. And we have different milestones where this AI is progressing. So this has been progressing since 1950. So it came into the picture in 1950, where Turing, the Turing person, Alan Turing, actually tested machines whether they can think like the human being. So this test was also named on his name, called the Turing test. It was done in 1950. Then in 1951, Christopher Starchy made a program which was able to defeat checkers. So checker is a program which it was able to defeat. And then in the same year, Marvin Minsky developed another model based on the artificial neural network. Furthermore, in 1955, Arthur Semmel is the one who prepared a program which can perform the game. So at runtime, it can decide what action to be taken. So basically, this was the program which started learning based on the experience, its own experience. And then John McCarthy actually invited one workshop that was called the Dartmouth workshop. And in this workshop, the first one, the Turing test, those paper was also discussed. And here's the point where actually the artificial intelligence started getting into the base. Then later on, MIT set up a artificial intelligence lab, and this lab was set up by these people. And then these folks ultimately developed one robot which was placed in the General Motors. And then in 1964, basically the first demo was given to the audiences. And this demo was about the program which can understand the NLP, the natural language, which can do the natural language processing. So people were speaking in their own language, and computer was also talking to them. So it was a big achievement in the area of artificial intelligence. And later on, the Elijah was the efficient program which was actually talking or doing conversation with the human being. And the same year, Stanford University also developed another robo, which was a moving robo. So this way, artificial intelligence was getting pace. And then all of a sudden, what happened that in 1970s, it came to some pause. It got some pause because the the models or the uh, the system, I mean, whatever the program they were making, they were not able to get some advance progress because it needed the computation power also and the complexity also, as well as the funding was also issue that time. And this whole decade, 70s decade, this issue was prevalent. So it did not, AI did not get any progress in this particular decade. And when we came to 1980s, then again AI people started taking some more interest in the AI, and they started providing some data to the models. Then now again there was I mean, AI system got activated, or people started working on these systems. Then these two guys in 1989 started developing the autonomous vehicles based on the neural network. And this was the big super hit or shock to the world in 1997. And I was also, I mean, observing this particular thing. I was noticing when I was in engineering college that in 1997, the computer actually defeated the world champion Gary Kasparov in chess. And Gary Kasparov was the world number one chess player at that time. So this computer was developed by IBM called as Deep Blue. And then in 99, Sony developed one mobile Aibo robot, which was on the dog style. So it was interacting or learning from the experiences. Then Google, in 2009, Google developed one autonomous vehicle called Waymo. Waymo is basically the company who which invent the autonomous vehicles. And then 2010, Narrative Science is the company which actually was founded, and they worked on these records and providing the and converted into the reports using the AI model. So Narrative Science worked mainly on the AI, artificial intelligence. And in 2015, this center guy, Elon Musk, along with his two colleagues, funded to a company $1 billion to make some progress in the AI field. And then IBM Watson, another computer, defeated the person in the Jeopardy game. And in the same year, these voice recognition systems were also developed, like Siri, Google, Cortana, what you have in your phone. So they came into the effect in 2016 and getting continuous refinement after that point. And then again, 2018, this neural network was also worked again. And this time, this neural network was developed based on the large language models, which we cover little later in this presentation. Okay. And then Google developed one BERT program, which was actually completing the sentences, the next word, like we are getting in the Gmail also, and on WhatsApp also. So it is able to predict what is the next word should be coming into the sentences. And in 2022, it was the great invention of ChatGPT, which was done by the OpenAI. And this was actually the conversation tool with the person, and this particular model is having the context, in which context we are talking with the, you can say, I mean, bot. Okay, so this particular system is remembering in what terms we are talking to him. So AI is not something new which we are talking first time or we have recently observed. Since many years, we have been working on this AI things. So importance, I hope things are clear so far. It is all about the history of the artificial intelligence. In case somebody has any question, we can take it now, or we can take it. We can take up in the end. Okay, then I I included a couple of slides related to the importance of AI. So basically, AI is has become very important to embrace because every system, or I would say, there are so many things surrounding us which are using artificial intelligence as a technology, but people are not completely aware. So definitely we need to embrace the AI in the coming future. Without this, it will not be the efficient working if whatever we do. Okay, in any of the area, like business we are doing. So we can more focus. We can focus more on the customer requirement rather than doing the day-to-day work and wasting time. So we can utilize the resources in an effective manner. That's what. Like one store is doing some business. Okay, let's say coffee house, managing some inventory and doing some data analysis and whatever, working on the so many manual things. Rather, it can use the AI model, and it can create the jobs for the people like data analysis, data scientist, and I mean, jobs are also created, and the business has started making some more profits because customers are more satisfied now, because using AI system, it has worked on the customer satisfaction and some positive things uh, using AI rather than all the time is going into the manual things, right? So basically, these days, it has become into very high demand in any of the area, whether it is healthcare, finance, education, homes, IT, or marketing, e-commerce. The name, whatever name you take, AI is there, and these are the main components involved in the AI, like data science, machine learning, natural I'm sorry, natural language processing, robotics, and cybersecurity. These are actually the at high level I'm talking about, and there are multiple other areas also where this AI has the effect. Okay, so like when we have some AI knowledge, so definitely we will get some advancement in our career also. We can get a better job what we are currently doing, because in market AI has created so many jobs on AI developer, data scientist, AI engineer, machine learning engineer, and another one more area is DevOps. So machine learning has got another DevOps area, and that is called ML ops. So there also jobs are getting created. So definitely it is, currently the people are in the impression that AI is reducing the job, but actually it is vice versa. It is creating more jobs. Just we need to embrace the AI, artificial intelligence. We need to acquire that skill, and we need to definitely put some more effort learning AI and these things. And definitely these efforts will definitely give the fruits in the future also. So AI is not going to anywhere now. It will be there in our roadmap. If we are into the software system or any other domain we are working, definitely we need to interact with the AI, and we need to be well equipped before we get a chance to deal with it. So definitely there are lot of scope in learning, and lot of scope in jobs also, getting a jobs also, and doing advancement in our career. And mainly, I mean, probably I have not covered is that the skills which are required to to get into the AI is Python is getting very popular because from I mean worldwide developers are adding libraries continuously in the Python package because it's open source, and that is why Python is getting popular day by day, and it has so many libraries that we can utilize, and we can do our work in a very efficient manner. So Python is the base thing which we can think of to learn. And apart from that, we have a few other tools also like TensorFlow to learn deep learning, and couple of other. We have so many things actually. If we want to move further in career while working in the software industry, right? And we can optimize the business also. Like I said, that rather than focusing on the manual things, we can keep ourselves up to date using all these advanced tool, and we can make ourselves more efficient. We can teach staff to use all these modern technology to be more efficient, and the time we are saving from the manual work, we are try to utilize you making the effective business strategies so that business will grow rather than on the day-to-day basis we spend time on the manual activities. Okay, again, same thing, like if you see this chatbot, now you will find it almost every website, right? So it is just to reduce the traffic of the phone calls to the customer care team. So first, if we can interact with the chatbot available on the website, and then if in case our problem is not resolved, after that only we can make a phone call, or this particular chatbot can connect us to the customer care team also. So that way definitely it is a, and meanwhile in that background, that customer care team, basically we can try to optimize, and we can do the right sizing, and we can utilize the staff in other things where they can contribute in a better way. So this is the strategy to optimize the business, and we can solve many problems. It is one of them, like this is related to the pharma, medical. This is the climate change. We are definitely we are facing this issue these days, and this is related to the transport system or traffic system. So these are just a couple of systems where we can we are working on the AI, and there is a lot of scope. Already we have some system developed, but there is a lot of scope, and based on this data we can make some decisions, and we can try to focus where or which particular system we need to automate using the AI, and AI has the solution for every problem. Okay, so definitely we need to take benefit of this technological advancement. Like we should learn all these things, so whatever coming up into the market, and we can set our alarms. We can ask the question. We can have the information in hand all the time, 24 hours by 7, using Siri and Google Assistant. So these, I mean, this is a complete revolution, I would say. I remember the old days where we used to we used to find the word in the dictionary, so and it was not carry we were not able to carry everywhere. So definitely it is a very good opportunity. We need to utilize all these systems in a proper way so that we can build our knowledge also on the day-to-day basis. Global relevance is now also, I mean, it is very much relevant because when we got some translator systems, there were bridges because of the language barriers, which we are able to cope up now. We are able to connect different culture, and we are able to talk globally. So now it is not a problem. I can talk to Chinese, and I can understand what he can say using these translators. So this way, I mean, we can take the benefits of these systems. Now, I would cover this AI in our daily life, how we are surrounded by all these things. Like we have AI controlled devices like voice assistant. I just talked Alexa and Google. We can play music and we can put up alarm. Home security systems we can install. That is also using and these systems will allow only the known person or the family member to get into the home. Otherwise, the alarm system will activated. Smart appliances, definitely we are surrounded by the smart appliances these days, and this actually it is very good experience. Recently, I got one chimney hob into my home, and it is working on the just swipe. I don't need to touch even. So it is working on the swipe of my hands. So that is, I mean, that is giving a good feeling actually that this is just a technological advancement. Smart TV, we all are aware that we see movies, TV shows, music, listening history, and the best part, what I feel is the recommendation system. While watching an Netflix or Prime Video, there is a recommendation system I like a lot. Thermostat to set the temperature based on the weather. Vacuum cleaner, another good thing which I like a lot. They learn the layout of the home and clean the home and avoid furniture the blockage due to the furniture and find their way back to the charging station. So definitely I like every movement of this particular object or this particular machine, which are AI enabled actually. Health and fitness trackers, definitely we have so many gadgets which are tracking our exercises and advising us on the sleeping patterns and all. So goal setting we can do and we can get the entire report correctly. Gardening system, we check moisture. These systems check moisture and then, if need be, water the plants. So these are our related to our home and surrounding system. Then smartphones, I talked that photo settings done by AI. We can have different shades of photograph and we can make the cartoons also. We can beautify our own photographs also. Voice assistant, same. Predictive auto correction. I mean, whether we are using any WhatsApp, any app, WhatsApp or Gmail. So these auto correction is always available. Battery life. Sorry for the typo. Battery life optimization. They check that which app is basically consuming the most of the battery, and they can it can close automatically if not in use. Then coming to the face recognition, obviously my iPhone is getting opened using my face only. So health and fitness, I just talked. Security and fraud detection, we can definitely utilize this one. Fraud, I mean, it is able to just check in case my phone is taken by someone else. Language translation, we talked. Gesture control, I talked to just the hob which I got recently. So gesture, I'm just swiping it and it is controlled, getting switch on and switched off just by swipe only. So that way we are surrounded by AI, but actually we are not observing all these things. Again, in the healthcare department, there are so many. It is very much utilized these days, like examination, test examination, and predictions based on the. I mean, they are doing very efficiently and accurately detecting anomalies in the blood test, and it is basically giving a very good analysis for the medical imaging such as X-ray, MRI, and CT scans, where doctors are taking time and they are not able to predict or they are not able to judge the issue properly. AI has become one another revolution in that area, and surgery is being done by the robot based on the medical history of the patient and genetic research like DNA. DNA, the study of DNA has been very complex since beginning, but now it is getting easier with the help of AI, and it can understand the code and help doctors or researchers also. It can it can take care the elderly people and the mental health services. It can give you some good advice in case someone is not feeling mentally healthy. And while drug discovery and new medicine testing, so it is helping in that area, rehabilitation and therapy. It is helping elderly people to do the to in the rehabilitation process, and it is sitting, it is taking class or taking session one-to-one basis. So it is helping a lot in the healthcare area also. Now education and e-learning system is very, I mean, utilizing AI system very intelligently, and we can have our personalized course prepared for us. And in case I mean, it depends on the intelligent intelligence level of the student, and we can judge, or we can decide the level of difficulty, the learning content, and the capability of the student, so that the student can regular feel engaged, and he can cross the levels, and should not feel the frustration during the while going through the entire course. So that way we can do some personalized learning. And these are a couple of tools which are very popular. Dreambox, I know, is specialized in mathematics, and other tools are also giving a personalized or adaptive learning. Personalized recommendation, definitely in education, we get articles, videos, and practice exercise available wherever available on the entire internet. It can provide to us. So schools, universities, and other online learning platforms like Udemy, LinkedIn, or Coursera are available, and they are also using the AI. Like if you start seeing some video on the Udemy or LinkedIn, so definitely further it will recommend similar kind of videos. Like if I want to learn big data technology, Spark, so definitely I don't need to search even that what all courses of Spark or Kafka is available. Someone is saying something. Okay. So whatever the course Kafka or Spark related course are available, I mean, it will simply started appearing in my list. So these are a couple of other language translation uh, tools which are AI powered: Yandex, Papago, Amazon Translate. So like using these tools, these are tools being used worldwide. So definitely it is very effective and very useful tools, I would say. Okay, now in the world of entertainment, this is like I said, it is being used very intelligently here also, because content creation, it can compose music, write a script, and if there is any existing script, so it can predict the success rate and audience reactions based on the previous experience, and whatever the special effect we want to make, it can it can include. So personalization, like I said, Netflix, Shopify, YouTube, these systems are using artificial intelligence. And again, I said that recommendation system I like a lot, and it generally remember what I watched, and what I like, which genre I like movies. Video games are even have become very intelligent these days, like the video games in my childhood times. So they have got very exciting characters, and these characters are dynamically taking the judgment, and dynamically changing the reaction how I am moving in my game. And virtual reality and augmented reality, definitely it has made make some space, and this is the area where we are expecting little more, some more good progress actually. So deepfakes, you might have heard, but it is a very good technique to place the face or the voice on someone other's personality. So I mean, in film industry, it is very heavily used. Like I know one example of a movie by Shah Rukh Khan called Fan, where the requirement was to make him look younger, what of his current age. So it was used by deepfakes. So automated animation, like there are some cartoons, or I mean, I generally say cartoons, but they are animated movies to enhance the visual effect and animation. This is the two examples which I have listed: Lion King and Frozen. There are so many others also available in this Prime Video or Netflix, and I mean, even I love to watch these animated movies now. Avatar also is animated movie. Long back it came. And enhanced customer experience. So definitely, if I am getting what I like, I will be happy. And data analytics. It's a continuously data analytics is going on based on the audience preferences and viewers' choice of what viewers are liking, so that they can take up next project in the same area. So that if I like horror movies and definitely few more, then definitely they will think that yeah, horror movies are being liked by people a lot, and we should make some next movie. We should make horror movie. So that way, it is giving them a good analysis how audience is liking the content. And now coming again in the IT world, this voice recognition, we talked about Amazon Echo or Google Home are using very advanced algorithm, and they are understanding and responding the human language, what we are speaking on the day-to-day basis. And really, trust me, I was thrilled when I first time I saw somewhere around 2017-18, I saw the Google Home installed at one of my friend's house, and he was simply giving an instruction: switch on the geyser number one, switch off AC number two, switch on the fan, switch on the TV, and it was, I mean, he was sitting at one place and giving instruction to the Google Home, and everything was being done properly without any issue. So I liked that system a lot. So again, using the voice recognition systems, we can write mails, create document, set reminders, and control devices, like I said, and at the same time staying entertained also by our own voices. So it is very useful actually. Spam filtering in our Outlook mails, it is another facility we can use. We don't need to really open the mail. We don't need to really analyze that mail. It will be flagged as spam because the AI system will continuously look into our Outlook mails using some strange words, odd email layout, and links which are not right actually. So even Outlook introduced one another option in the Outlook only called junk. So there you can have multiple option, and if you mark it the junk email in future, it will be marked as junk only, and it will be moved to that folder wherever you want. So you don't need to open and click on any particular given link. Another very super hit area is cyber security actually, where there is a guard sitting on the whatever you are doing online. Okay, so whether you are sending any emails, you are receiving emails, or you are doing any website browsing, whatever you are doing, there is one cybersecurity systems applied, so that it is taking care of your basically infrastructure. Recently, one of my friend is working in Western Digital Bangalore. He told me last year that his company's system was completely hacked, and it was done from China, and they were demanding the ransom also, and it was given. So this is very important part of the IT industry or any system actually, any system where we are using network. They hacked the complete information about the chip design or whatever work they are doing confidentially. Network security is another area where we are using artificial intelligence heavily, and we are making sure that our data is flowing smoothly and securely, and continuously we are analyzing the patterns, and we are resolving the issues also happening on the day-to-day basis. and the optimal performance. Basically, there should not be any noise in the network, and proper exchange of the data should be happening. So currently, Cisco, Juniper Networks, Palo Alto Networks, and Fortinator, these are the company which are taking care of the network security and working in the network security area heavily. So we need to definitely consult these companies in case we get some issue in our network. So data backup and recovery is another area where data backup is required on the cloud these days, where it is saved into the secure storage, and from there also it has I mean, in case we need some data recovery, it can be done easily. So currently these Google Drive and Dropbox having very heavy data, and you using this data backup and recovery facility provided by the AI. So in software development, another artificial intelligence uh, has contributed a lot to for I mean, this code generation is amazing. I don't know whether someone available here have already utilized this one, but trust me, I was completely amazed when I first time you used this one. I asked to generate one Spark code, and Big Data Spark is a technology which I invested 6 to 8 months to learn. And when I asked ChatGPT to uh, generate some code for me, and whatever it generated, I was completely stunned because it generated the correct code and the production ready code. So even that was amazing actually. So I will strongly suggest whenever someone is having any requirement of generating code, definitely we need to utilize ChatGPT. And it is being said by Elon Musk also that now kids don't need to learn programming anymore. They just need to know how we can utilize these artificial intelligence enabled system to make our work easy. And I also agree with that. Software development, definitely we can make faster and more efficient. And this particular system, AI, is giving us a production ready code. This giving us some more facility apart from the development, also in terms of testing and the DevOps. So DevOps is another area where we are basically uh, compiling whatever the set of developers has done for the day, and we are compiling everything and along with the necessary libraries, and then we are deploying it to the system, so server. And if in case there is some issue happening, we are trying to debug. But when we are talking in terms of AI, it is flawless actually. And continuous integration and continuous deployment is basically the buzzword in the IT industry these days, where we are we don't need any human intervention. And on the day-to-day basis, whatever the team of developers is doing in the evening or in the night, one integration is happening, and then immediately deployment is happening on the server automatically. And one particular job we can trigger at we can schedule, and that is triggering this continuous integration and deployment. And in short, it is called CI/CD. You might have heard this word. So that way, we can utilize AI there also in the DevOps. And again, it is coming to the testing. We can utilize AI in our testing. And these days, Apple iTools, Testim, Functionize are the companies where they are providing the framework to develop the script for the testing script, to develop the testing script actually. So definitely it is important part also which we can't avoid. And these are other list of areas where we can utilize the artificial intelligence: data management analysis, cloud computing, network management, user experience, and so on and so forth. So again, these are the areas. Okay. Now the next topic is till this point, if someone is having any question, please feel free to ask. Next topic I'm going to start is really very interesting, and I I really like this particular thing. Is generative AI. So what is generative AI? So these days, this is
Yeah,
hype.
Rajji, I mean, there is one question. I mean, Ambuj is asking one question. So let me take this question. Meanwhile, I mean, there would be a break also.
Yeah, yeah, sure, please.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
very good evening.
sir, in our last slide, you tell me the software testing AI are help to for the software testing.
Hmm.
Sir, when we use or generate some test case, the initial case, so we will executed it easily. But what about the critical portion? And optimization we talk about when we're testing software testing, so we talk about the optimization and maintainability, so that time
Okay.
how we are help.
Okay. So basically, whatever test cases you have prepared, right? So even you don't
Yes.
need to prepare those test cases also. It can create the test cases and execute also test cases. Okay. So like I am telling you one example that somewhere, suppose in your application has one page, let's say, okay, and there are five test cases either you have created or the system has created, okay, created by artificial intelligence. Now, a software developer who is changing working on this page today for some of the requirement has changed some functionality, and then that particular functionality again we need to test right today, because it particular page or application is touched by developer. He has done some changes on that page. So that particular change, okay, should get failed because we have not developed any test cases. We are executing the current set of test cases, say five test cases, right? So we have not developed any six test cases. So this should get failed, and when it is failing, we it should generate some alarm, or it should I mean fail the test case also. And then if we are adding that particular test case, then by using these tools or framework given by these companies, then definitely this the next functionality whatever is just added should get passed. So you are saying the optimization or the critical test cases. I
Yeah.
I have I mean for me, even a single test case, the simple test case is also a very critical test case actually, because ultimately at the end of the day, everything should get passed. Even if my five critical test cases are getting passed and one simple one is failing, I am not good to go, right? On the production. So for me, all cases are the critical test cases. So definitely there should be some facility in the system to categorize or to maintain the critical as well as the simple test cases, I would say. But practically, I have not used it. I have worked in one of the application which was basically related to the AI, and I was part of the Python development team. So these test cases, I have not, this testing framework I have not used. So that's what I can say at this moment.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hmm, Thanks. Thanks for the question. Now, this is the generative AI.
There is another question, Dr. Jyoti.
Yeah, Jyoti ma'am, tell me.
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Very good evening.
Sir, could you please help me to sort out that how the artificial intelligence will help in predictive maintenance?
Productive maintenance. You mean to say maintenance of the software system?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, overall, this maintenance system, like I said, this testing framework we can utilize. Okay. so that it will keep on checking my existing functionality is not touched. On the day-to-day basis, development team is adding new functionality, right, Jyoti ma'am? This maintenance project, whenever we are working, so we have some module already running in the production, okay, and new releases, new features we are keep on adding, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay,
Right.
sir. Right. Right.
So
Understood.
that way, whatever the new functionality you are adding or development team is adding on the day-to-day basis, immediately the existing test case should fail because suppose there are five text box in the page, like it is very much related to the previous example what I given. I have in my application I have one page, whether it's a UI page, a web page, also whatever you can. It has five boxes. Now development has added another six box, and my existing test cases are testing only the five boxes, right? And today I got a new one. Definitely, couple of my test case should get failed, and there is a requirement to generate or to build a new test cases also. So I will build a new test case and then I will test this functionality, and this new particular test case will be added in my repository or the testing unit. Okay. And next time, tomorrow, next day, I have six text box on the UI page, and I am running this test suite I am running, and all the test case should get passed. So definitely it will help me to maintain the dignity, or to maintain the quality, or to maintain the production system running actually. Okay. So definitely
Okay. Okay.
these are yeah. I have worked on a very old testing framework like team test. It was provided by Rational. So basically, that is why I am able to answer your question, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. So can I move ahead now? So generative AI is a very interesting topic and a buzzword in the town these days. Okay, so I was also uh, very much I heard this word a lot, and one fine day I started looking into this. What is this and how it is working? So generative AI is nothing but in the existing AI, we have added one generative word, and this generative is not a simple, I mean, it is not a simple thing to add this. There is a lot of work being done to implement the generative AI or to invent the generative AI. So basically, this generative AI till now, till this part, AI, existing AI, okay, my model were trained on the existing data, and they were able to tell me about the object, whether it is apple or banana. Okay. But this generative AI is altogether a new revolution here in the world of AI. And what it is doing, it has starting generating the new content also by itself. So generating content, whether it is text, image, audio, video, code, whatever you want. So it is altogether generating a unique thing for you using the artificial intelligence only. But the scene behind is, I'll tell you in further slides. Sorry. So generative artificial intelligence is a type of AI that can create new content such as audio, image, text, code, videos. So that way, I'll don't worry, I'll cover this very well so that you can have a basic understanding also. And this is the generative AI example where we can utilize. We can ask to write an email, or we can ask to write an article. We can ask to generate an image of a cat using the DAL-E. This is another generative AI model. And I have given some features, and I'm asking DAL-E to draw the image. And this image, trust me, is not provided by the to the system actually, to the model. This is altogether a unique image of this cat. And this generate code is basically GitHub Copilot is another AI model which is generating code. Like I said, I was really stunned when I asked ChatGPT to write one complex code for me, and within a minute, it has given me that particular code, and it was production ready code. I was not able to find even a single fault in that piece of code, and very efficient, optimized code. So that way we can ask anything, and these or everything, whatever generated output is all unique output. It is not like the data what I have given as input to train the model. So this is altogether a new content actually. So now you can see the artificial intelligence is the superset, the area where we have machine learning as a subset, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and generative AI is the subset of deep learning. So now I mean, just imagine that deep learning is working on the neural network, based on the neural network, like our brain is working based on the neurons. And generative AI is the advanced version of that particular area. So now imagine the complexity behind the generative AI and the data given to the generative AI, okay, is enormous actually as compared to the whatever we are providing to the machine learning, okay, machine learning model actually. So we will come to that. So this, for generative AI, definitely this word is very, very important. We need to provide a very large volume of data. I'll show you the current, these days, ChatGPT 4 version is in the market. So I'll show you the difference between ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4.0. And definitely high computational power we need. And these days, computational power is evolved to the very good level actually. So I have worked in the VLSI company also, not as a VLSI developer, but as a software developer only. So I know that how much progress or how much computational power has evolved in last 20 years at least, I can say. And the best part of this model is it is conversational, contextual understanding. Means you can continue your discussion. It is not like a Google where you are searching, giving a some search text, and it is giving you the result, and that's it. It is, it can talk to you. It can do a conversation with you one after the other. You can ping, and it will react like you are talking to someone sitting beside you. So definitely it is a very, very good revolution in the field of AI. Contextual understanding is something where it is remembering the context in which we are talking actually. Okay. So for example, a very simple example, like uh, what is the weather in the New York? Okay. It is raining there or not? So it, if we are searching there on the Google, it means nothing for Google actually. But here in the chat GPT or the generative AI, it means a lot. It has got it can connect to the last previous sentence that it means New York. Okay, so similar way, it is a very simple and raw example in layman terms I'm trying to explain, but definitely it is a very good feature actually they have introduced. And in that context, we can do a conversation for hours, and we can continue that way and get all that benefit from the model. So coming to the chat GPT is the best example of the generative AI actually. So ChatGPT, you heard it right. Please tell me if someone is this thing is new for someone. So I mean, if you heard it, used it, it will be really good and you can easily understand. So ChatGPT is a language model developed by OpenAI company, which is now a part of Microsoft. And it is designed for natural language understanding and generation, means NLP, natural language processing, and generating new content, specifically in a conversational context, which I just explained. So the full form of ChatGPT is Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it is trained. This ChatGPT is trained on the 570 GB of text data. Means whatever you have on the entire internet, books, Wikipedia, videos, audios, whatever you find, it has more content as compared to the available internet. But the point is that it is modeled. Okay, ChatGPT is modeled. So if my model was released, say 3.5, ChatGPT was 3.5 was released on November 2022. So ChatGPT 3.5 will not be able to share any information what is happening currently, but ChatGPT 4 is completely updated. So the till the point where we have given the data, it can generate or it can tell me the information till that point. Okay. Most robust knowledge repository, ChatGPT, and this chat, the composition of this word ChatGPT is the chat it is doing, the conversation we are doing, generative, it is based on the message what you have given, it is generating the new content, and whatever the language fact information we have given, pre-trained. That's what I'm trying to emphasize this word again and again, that we have given the already we have feeded so much information, we have provided so much data to the model that it has trained itself. And then it is working on the transformer logic where it is working like a neural network. So in this system, we are calling it as a transformer where neural network layers are involved actually. Okay. So like this is the Google BERT model, whatever the Wikipedia entire system information it has, BERT system is reading or referring that information and giving me the output based on whatever my question. Okay. And it is understanding the natural language processing because I can speak and it can also giving me the audio and it can generate human like text. So ChatGPT is not AI actually. It is not, we cannot say it is AI. It is just an application of AI where we have in the background, we have utilized AI only. The technology, whatever we are using in the AI, we have used in the AI. And I mean, I was not aware earlier that we can build our own chat GPT also. Like if I want to if I want to develop one chat GPT to provide me the only the badminton related information. I am very much fond of playing badminton. That is why I'm taking this example. Like so, chat GPT, I can make another chat GPT model where I will provide couple of instruction and somewhere while providing these instruction, I'll say refer internet as a source of the information. So whenever I'll say if I want to know about a particular tournament happening in any of the corner worldwide, it will provide me the badminton chat GPT. Like you can name it the badminton chat GPT. So we can build our own chat GPT using the same technology, but we don't need to do anything, just a drag and drop kind of things. So that is another good thing. I would suggest definitely it is worth trying actually. So this is the process is actually um, behind running behind any of the model, whether it is chat GPT or any GPT model, which is machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, which is called NLP. Computer vision is used when we see the images Like in medical field, in healthcare field, it is I shared that it is doing the X-ray analysis, CT scan, or the what to say MRI. So all these where this computer vision is required actually. So robotics is just a combination of artificial intelligence, software, this mechanics, electrics, electronical. So many engineering actually is one set. So speech recognition. These are the main processes required to build any generative model actually. So for GPT or Chat GPT, mainly these two models, I mean at broad level, these two models are working natural language processing more importantly and deep learning. And based on that, it is able to generate the human-like text. The same thing, yeah, here it is coming as large language models. So basically, any GPT model is working on the language models, and large language models is basically another framework we would say, which helps us in preparing the chat GPT model actually. Okay, so I'll come again on this particular thing, but as of now, I think we can say it is another layer of development when we want to develop any this chat GPT model. So large language models are powerful artificial intelligence models designed for understanding and generating human-like text. So basically, whatever information we are giving to pre-train the system, we are utilizing LLM there. Okay. And you see the difference, what I was telling you, that this is the chat GPT 3 or 3.5 parameters. Okay. These many parameters it is using in the neural network actually. Okay. Parameters are, you can say, is the weights and bias while working for any neural network. Okay. Which is connecting to the different layers of the neural network. And they are getting adjusted actually to work efficient to work, I mean for this model to work efficiently actually. So this is chat GPT 4 is having these many parameters as compared to GPT 3 model, which is 570 times larger than this. So now you can say this is just a difference of one version only, GPT 3 3.5 to GPT 4. Now you can imagine the next GPT-5 or GPT 4.5, whenever it will come into the market, you can imagine the advancement into the model, that how efficient it will be. Okay. So that way we can, I mean, simply we can have a feeling that how complex these systems actually have become. And trust me, this is the most intelligent system human being has invented or made. This is the most intelligent system till date. Another area which is very, very important while dealing with the generative AI is the prompt engineering. And I have heard many people saying this chat GPT is not giving me a good response. I am asking this, it is telling me some other thing. So that way I heard regularly. But after that, I came through this particular module, which is prompt engineering in the chat GPT. This is the process of crafting well-defined and structured input queries. And I was amazed to see there are jobs related to the prompt engineering only. Companies are keeping people, hiring people as a prompt engineer, okay, so that they can give models a very well-framed quality, including all the information, whatever our requirement, as per our requirement. So the way I am giving one my requirement, I am presenting or feeding my requirement to the model, it is giving me the response in the same way. If my requirement is not something clear somewhere, it will confuse me more, or it will not give me any relevant information what I need actually. And if my input is very well reviewed or very well filtered or very well provided, having all the criterias or all the information, exactly what I want as what person. Like if I am an engineer and I am asking something related to the medical field without saying that I am a doctor. Okay, so definitely it will not give me that deep information. So that way, we need to be very, very careful and we need to be very, very creative while searching something so that it should understand our requirement and give us the relevant information. And trust me, it is referring the entire internet, entire internet, all the books, everything. So in and giving you within milliseconds also. So that's why it is a very evolving field as a prompt engineer. Okay, so the more effectively you guide the AI, the more valuable insight it will provide. Okay, and these are the five different W's as well as one how, where we can say that in this format we should try to provide that information. Okay, that what I want, who who is asking, and who should respond. Like I'm an engineer and I want the response from the engineering point of view. That is why this word is coming. Why I'm asking this question to the chat GPT is that what is my requirement and why it is, I mean, important for me. Where, I mean, in terms of industry, from which industry I am coming from and for which industry I need the response actually. Okay, that is why. And how AI should be responding means in what format AI should respond to you. Okay, I have one example for this, but I think that will be too much for this moment. But I have tested AI in that my daughter was actually little excited or she was a little curious on that point. So I told her that it is, I mean, this way we should put our input so that same way, if we want that response, so same way it will return. So she got that point very clearly. Okay. Okay. So till now, my point, my contents are over related to the generative AI. Okay. In case someone has any question, please feel free now. Taking no as no question. Okay. These are couple of banking related use cases which are I mean which we can convert into the model using AI. And this is not my bank related. This is general, which I also took it from the chat GPT. So I am not authorized to share any information about my project or any of the project we are working. So, but these are very much similar. This is banking related use cases only, and this is everywhere common. So, first one is the fraud detection because the fraud is where people are most worried. So, fraud detection system is developed or we can develop and the technologies is machine learning models, anomaly detection, neural network. So again, machine learning model and deep learning you can analyze. And what is the benefit is real-time detection, reduce financial losses and enhance security. Again, is the credit scoring. I think it is very much self-explanatory. So we can go through it. Credit scoring and risk assessment, whether people whosoever is having any taken any loan or some money from bank, what is the chances that this person will return. Okay, so predictive analytics NLP for unstructured data, more accurate risk assessment, faster loan approval, and broader financial inclusion is the benefit. So there are infinite opportunity actually to imagine or to automate the industry requirement. This is just a banking related. In several industry, it has penetrated properly now, and people are taking best use of best advantage of this AI. So personalized banking experience is this one that if I am suppose a bank, I am browsing the banking site, so the recommendation system, the customer interaction, and the financial advice, whatever I'm getting from the bank or from this model. Technologies are recommendation system, which I'm saying already AI, NLP based chatbots, sentiment analysis. So increased customer satisfaction. As long as I am satisfied with my bank, so I'll not go anywhere out of that bank. Higher product engagement and improve customer retention. Chatbots and virtual assistant, I have given the examples that every banking site or every site has started providing the chatbot on the website so that we can we should not wait till morning to call the customer care person, or we can ask then and there and resolve our queries. Predictive analytics for customer behavior such as loan defaults or product upgrades by analyzing historical data, the loan defaulters, and how I mean credit cards or whatever products I'm using, the upgradation pattern. So time series analysis is another model in machine learning, and clustering algorithm is another machine learning algorithm. So compliance and regulatory reporting is the transaction. All the transaction should be compliance to the banking regulatory system. So they should not be like they should not bypass any rule. Anti-money laundering, okay, to prevent money laundering, and mortgage system, loan and mortgage system. So these are basically the departments actually in the banking, and there they can try to develop this, or already in the multiple banks, international banks are already implementing this. Portfolio and investment manager management, like AI will provide me some portfolio manager as if it is working only for me, dedicated. So that way, definitely it will help me. Okay, customer churn predictions, then document processing and analysis. Like the document processing, I said it will be done by AI within no time actually. And loan documents and all, we can provide the loan in a very short period actually, rather than taking weeks or months to approve the loan. Predictive maintenance of ATM, we can prepare the model. Sentiment analysis, dynamic pricing for financial. At runtime, all these loan rates and everything will be shared to the customer, and their dynamic pricing algorithm, predictive. These are little machine learning algorithms, but don't think that this is very complex model. Python has made z- jobs very easy while preparing this, and ultimately, if you search any model, or if you try to search any algorithm on the chat GPT, it will give you, or ask give me the Python code for dynamic pricing algorithm, it will give you the entire algorithm. Just you need to tweak it a little bit, and you can have your own dynamic pricing algorithm. So that's why, I mean, it is very good. When I was pass out from the college, I was not given I was not given internet in office for initial 5 years, and everything, all the syntax of that particular language where we are working, whether it is C, C++, Visual Basic, Oracle PLSQL, Unix, all the systems, all the syntax, everything we had to carry in our mind, and we were good that time, far better what I am doing these days. So, and this is the end of my presentation now. So, in case someone has any question, please feel free. I am done with my presentation. So taking silence as no questions. And
Uh, yes, sir.
yeah,
This is Deepak Sonkar from Galgotia University. Sir, I have a
yeah,
question. What are the tokens in large language models
yeah.
context?
Okay. So Deepak, token is just a word, okay, where it is segregating. Like you are asking ChatGPT, how are you? Okay.
Okay,
So your three words, you have given three words. How are you? So all three words are the tokens, will be treated as a token and will be processed using the entire neural network system. What I have shown, like in
okay,
multiple neural network neurons layers, right? And
right.
that particular those three words will be processed through the entire neural network system. And I said there are parameters, weights and biases given. Okay,
Okay,
these are the variables, and these particular three words as a token will be processed through those parameters, will be adjusted, and response will be prepared as output of that system. So token is every word what you are searching in the chat GPT or any machine learning model.
okay, sir. Suppose there is a word hamburger. So how a token will get into this?
So hamburger is, I mean, I don't know much about the hamburger thing. Okay, that what other kind of hamburger we have, but hamburger will be one token actually.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepa. Yeah, we have time. I think we can ask some other question. I'll try my level best if I can answer something.
Dr. Charu, you may ask the question, please.
Yeah, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
All right.
you are very.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an informative session. While discussing the generative models, I wanted to ask you whether these GANs and diffusion models, when they are used for multimodal fusion, how the latent space navigation is used to achieve specific outputs, specifically in multimodal situations.
Uh, which navigation you are talking? I didn't get you.
The latent space navigation, sir, that we usually encounter in diffusion models like GANs.
Uh,
Am I
please
audible?
be little. Yeah, yeah, you are audible, Chairman. But please little elaborate your question. I really didn't get you properly.
Um, so the usually in multimodal environments, if it is like
Mhm,
unary or binary, then it is easier for us to get specific outputs. But
mhm,
when we have clip and flamingo models, which are designed for text, images, and
mhm,
other modalities also,
mhm.
in those models, what um, procedural navigation, I would say, we usually follow to achieve specific output.
So you mean to say how things are stored and processed
Uh,
into the system?
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So here, basically, ultimately, the system is the hardware system is where we are storing the things in the zero and one model, right? Okay. Here also, we are
Mhm.
here also in these models, so we are storing same way. But here, what I understand or what I can answer the best way. Okay. Charu ma'am, I may not give you the complete answer, but what my
Mhm.
understanding ultimately at the underlying storage, we are using the zero and one model only, but we have changed our database completely. It is a multi-dimensional model like vector database. So till date, you have heard SQL, no SQL, right? But this is a vector database model has come. So all the models, whatever you are generating or AI is generating, it is using the vector database where we are storing the information into the multiple dimension. And from there, and in the same representation like 0 and 1. Okay. And from there, there are algorithms which are very efficient to fetch the information for the user. So that is why all the data, whatever I'm asking the question, everything we are getting the response from the generative AI models, whatever ChatGPT you can say. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever the ChatGPT is giving within milliseconds or immediately within a drop of the hat. So that way, I mean, uh, things are established,
Okay.
and I mean, there is no confusion that still things are, I mean, are getting stored in any other format. It is still
Mm-hmm.
zero and
Okay. And sir, is there any difference when we are fine tuning specific parameters or we are fine tuning the entire model? Like in LORA, we usually parameterize the tuning. So does it also affect?
Yes, definitely. The fine tuning of the system affects how we are fine tuning the variables. I told you like the weights and biasing we are giving, right? And we are adjusting these variables at the runtime. So how these variables are getting adjusted, we can fine tune our system, and then we can definitely get some
Mhm.
more efficient output. If we are feeling that this system is need some I mean fine tuning.
Okay.
So it can be
Can be
fine
a
tuned.
possibility. Okay.
Definitely, definitely.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Charama.
Uh, Sir, this is Deepak Sonkar. I would like to ask one more question, if you have a time.
No problem, no problem. I think control is in Vishal or Atal's
Okay.
hands.
So, can I
I have
ask
no
one
doubt.
more question, Dr. Vishal?
Yeah, you can go ahead as of now. I think till late we have time.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So,
please, Deepak sir.
okay, okay. So the prompt engineering is to create basically high quality, informative, and engaging prompts that can elect relevant and accurate response from the conventional AI model. So my question is that why prompt engineering is important for the Chat GPT?
Yeah, because it is really very important. Okay, and it will be like this only. If I am giving some garbage, definitely I'll get the garbage.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yes, yes, yes,
I,
definitely.
I am giving some relevant information. I will get only some relevant information. Do you agree on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
And
do.
I am giving the full relevant information as per my requirement. ChatGPT will give me the complete relevant answer as per my requirement. So if I am able to define my requirement as in input string, input text, ChatGPT will process each and everything, all the aspects, okay, what my personality is, as whom I am asking this question, for why I am asking this question, and what question I'm really asking. I told you, right, of 5 W's plus 1 how. So that particular structure we need, as long as we are following that particular structure, we are going to get the best answer from the ChatGPT. And trust me, I have tested it by myself. I am getting that answer. I am
Got it,
giving
sir.
you one
Got it.
small example.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving one example. Let's say Earth is straight. Okay,
Okay.
or I can say Earth. Okay, what is the shape of the Earth? Option A, Earth is straight. Option B, Earth is round. I
Sir.
am asking this. I am asking
Okay.
this question to ChatGPT and giving two option also. Okay, in my input. Now
Okay.
ChatGPT will say option B, but I don't know what was option B, and I don't want the output in that way. I want output that option, it should tell me option B is correct, Earth is round. Okay,
Okay.
so I am giving another example to ChatGPT, okay, with some other context where the pattern of that question will be same, asking something, water is blue Water, what is the color of water? In input string, I'm giving all this thing, right? What is the color of water? Water is blue color. Water is yellow color. Option A is correct. Water is yellow color. I am given now in appending my original question now. Okay. What is the
Okay.
shape of the, okay. Now I have given it. This is a sample. What I want in this format only, I want my answer. And trust me, it happened actually. Now, earlier what it has given me, option B is correct. Option B, only B it told. You try this, okay? You
Okay,
try.
sir.
And then when I gave this example plus my question in one string, it gave me Earth is round. Option B is correct. Earth is round. You getting my point? So
Right.
that is where, yeah, that is where the importance of clear instruction, clear prompts is important. The I mean, as much as you are providing the clear prompts, the same way ChatGPT is going to respond and giving you the clear cut information as per your expectation. That is why I'm saying. I hope
Right,
I am
sir. Got it,
able,
sir. Got it.
I
Got it,
hope
sir.
I
Got it.
was able to
Yes,
clear
yes,
or I
yes.
am able to.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, next question, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening, ma'am.
So I want to know, like, as you have talked in your slide that virtual reality and augmented reality is like expanding more towards the research area. Like virtual reality is basically connected with the gamification. Currently, it has been more used in gamification. So, according to you, which sector it can impact it more?
I think it has impacted or it has penetrated all the sectors wherever you can, wherever you think, whatever you can name it, it has impacted and it has more to penetrate or to be explored actually. Why? What is virtual reality? That one system you wear it and you are part of that world, right? Correct me if my understanding is wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now to study from education point of view, we are going to US or UK. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
definitely it is incurring some more cost also, staying, lodging, fooding there, right? And if there is some system established that I can attend the class sitting in India and I am studying, I am taught by the US tutor.
Yes, sir.
Imagine how this system will be useful. This is just one example. And
Yes,
same way, people executives are traveling to US, UK, everywhere. Okay, and then it is definitely a cost also taken by the companies. Okay, now you are attending a meeting by with the. I mean, there are so many other ways also. But if you want more real effect, actually, you can attend that meeting using the virtual reality stuff, and definitely it will be a very good experience, and everybody will feel like sitting in one room only. So this is some one area which has so many opportunities to be invented, or so many things we need to be we can uh, we can invent, and we can utilize in every, like doctors are traveling from here to there to here, and worldwide they are traveling, right? And they don't have any
yes,
time actually, and it is very important. Time is, we have I mean, for them time is very important, right? We can
yes, sir.
utilize their skills to the best if we are starting using all these things into that place. So VR and AR is going to be in the field of AI. It is not going anywhere, and definitely, I mean, again I would emphasize that we need to embrace, even in education, medical, everywhere. I have told, like, right, retail also, everywhere, e-shopping,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Everywhere it has penetrated. So virtual reality is very, very good I mean, area where we should try to invent and adapt as much as possible. Actually,
Thank you so much, sir.
thank you for your question. Yeah, we can take up Achal sir.
Sir, I guess we can take one more question from Prashant Kulkarni, sir, and then
Yeah,
let me wind up, sir.
yeah, sure,
Prashant, sir,
Prashant.
please ask
Please
the
go ahead.
question.
Sir, may I audible?
Yes, sir, you are very well audible.
Sir, I have a question. Generative models require a large amount of data for a training purpose.
Yes,
If the data used is biased, then it
yeah,
will create some ethical and fairness concerns. So, how
yes,
to
yes.
deal with this?
Generally, with these systems, we are not dealing with any kind of biasness, right? If you are providing the pre-trained data as a biased data, definitely it will give you the biased results also, right?
Because
So,
it will create problems in finance as well as some social concerns.
yes, yes. So the ethical, this is not a ethical practice to provide any biased data to any of the system. And generative AI is very sensitive into that point of view, actually. So biased data is nowhere recommended to provide to any system, Prashant. So
Okay, sir.
if you are providing biased data, you will get the biased decisions also. So
Okay.
trust me, it is not recommended. Definitely, if you want your system to cover all the aspects, okay, because you are putting intelligence into the system by providing data, right? So if you are providing the half intelligence, then you will get the half quality results also. So it is definitely not recommended providing the biased data and expecting a good result. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Prashant. And if we don't have any further question, we can conclude this. And again, I am thank you for Atal sir and Vishal Khatri to approach me and giving me this opportunity. And I wish all the good luck to the BPIT college and to the computer science department, to all of you folks who attended uh, and listened to me actually. Thank you very much for your time and good luck to all of you for your future and keep learning, keep growing. That is the only thing which I would say as of now.
Thank
Right?
you so much.
Big thank you to Mr. Kailash Sharma for that insightful session. It's given a great overview of AI journey so far.
With this, we now move on to the second and final session of the day titled Generative AI. This session will explore one of the most exciting areas of artificial intelligence, focusing on its capabilities and applications across various industries.
We are pleased to have Mr. Abhishek Dikshit, Senior Solution Specialist at Microsoft India, who brings over 18 years of experience in the field.
Without further delay, let's welcome Mr. Abhishek Dikshit to begin the session.
Hello. I was just saying that do you guys need a break for 2 minutes, because it seems like you guys are in this call for like almost like 3 hours. I can wait for 2 more minutes before I start.
Yeah, that would be fine. That would be
Yeah.
fine. Thank you. Yeah, you can start at 8, right?
Yep. I'll start at 8. So we have practically 5 more minutes. So let's start at 8 then.
Right. Thank you. Thank you,
Let's
sir.
take a break. Okay. I'll start at 8 then. I think, should I start?
Please.
Okay, first of all, let me thanks a lot, Dr. Achal and Dr. Vishal, for giving me an opportunity to present this to you guys, to share my generative AI story and a little bit whatever I've learned. So that's a big thanks to BPIT as an institute and the team who's organizing this. I think it's a great initiative that you're trying to bring the AI ecosystem and AI knowledge and understanding to the larger faculty. First of all, huge congratulations to you guys. Secondly, a quick introduction about myself. I'm Abhishek Dikshit. I am currently, let me just make a small correction. I'm currently working with Oracle Cloud, OCI basically, and I'm working with them in the capacity of as a director for generative AI and high performance computing business for APAC region. And I am based in pretty much in Delhi NCR. Before this, I was with Microsoft for almost like 3 years. So I have been in the industry for 18 plus years, predominantly into technology domain, where I'm coming from the business development side of the background. So I interact a lot with industry. I interact a lot with in my career, I have interacted a lot with academia as well. Research, industry, academia has been my focus. And I have worked very closely with institutes like IITs, ISCs, ICERs, and so on and so forth in my previous organization. So work through and throughout in technology, work through and throughout in IT, and work through and throughout in business development space. So that's a little bit of about introduction about me. So now coming on to today's topic. So it's a very broad topic which has been handed over to me. It's like generative AI, and that's the talk of the town in the current landscape per se. So anybody wants to know about it. Everybody wants to has an opinion about it, and everybody wants to understand about it. So I'll start with my session. I'll try to be as crisp as possible. I'll be mindful of the time as well. And the last 10-15 minutes, I'll keep it for the Q&A as well. So let me just start sharing my screen. Okay, 1 second. One second. I think I need to make some changes in my. Okay. Just 1 second now. I just need to make some changes in my. enable my screen sharing because mm, yeah, I think now I can share the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, great. So let me just. Yep, is my screen visible now? Just wanted to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So what I'll do is I will initially before getting into generative AI to be in a much detailed fashion, I'll take you across to the history basically. So from where it all started and how it happened. Okay, so the thing is this, that uh, generative AI is, or possibly let me say that AI is not something new. AI has been in the ecosystem for last uh, 40 odd years, for 70 or 80 odd years. So things started in early 19th century. And if you can follow this particular, doodle, you can get a little bit of explanation of that. So things started in the 19th century, and the very first and very important thing happened during 1950s. That's something called as Turing test. Okay. Alan Turing was the guy who started this, and now from there we have reached to a stage where we are not talking about generative AI, which is equally which is as good as, in some directions, in some ways and means, as human beings are, and we are trying to make equally we are trying to move towards the perfection as intelligence as humans, or we are trying to make it even better in some use cases. Okay. So uh, and somebody can very well ask a question, that why now we are seeing this kind of a massive growth or massive ecosystem which is built around AI, and why generative AI, because generative AI is something, a very new term which has been introduced. I'll go deep into all of this aspect. And in today's talk, I will try and cover from where we started, where are we right now, which are the few important things that from the generative AI perspective you should be knowing. And I'll try and link it to the industry as well, because ultimately, in my view, the end objective of any education in the today's world is how applicable my knowledge is in the industry perspective, with how applicable my knowledge is in the use cases perspective. Can I solve a real world problem? I think that's where I'll try and drive this conversation towards the end. And and if we are able to do that, we can have massive success, and we can be more employable as individuals. So it's very, very important that we have that whole path very well covered, from where we started and where we are trying to reach. Okay. uh, the definition of AI, a branch of computer science dealing with simulation of intelligent behavior in computers. When I say intelligent behavior, is more about imitating intelligent human behavior. You know, so and the very first question when it all started was, I think you must be knowing that this the experiment started with a cat experiment around that was done by Turing. And in most of your deep learning and RNNs and CNNs and all those things you must be here reading, you must be always looking at a picture which is coming from cat. So that's where it started, and it's all about intelligence. From discovering or looking towards a cat intelligence, we are trying towards moving towards human intelligence. That's where the journey is all about. So, Turing test in 1940s and late 50s, a method of inquiry in AI to determine whether or not a computer is capable of thinking like a human being. So that was the major, that was the thought process of starting this in 1940s. So in 1940s, Alan Turing published a paper around computing machinery, and that was the concept with which he says that which we propose the Turing test as a measure of machine intelligence. A lot of people contributed it on to further it, like John McCartney, Marvin Minksy, Roster and Claude, and these are the people who founding fathers in as far as the AI is concerned. You know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to know what they were thinking at that point of time when this all started doing it, and then they started building machines. Arthur Samuel creates a checker playing program that can learn from our experience. And this is a real world photo. Look at imagine the system which is there right now, on which he's trying to work and trying to make system learn from our experience of playing a game which is called checkers. It's all started with something called as chess and pokers and so on and so forth. And then the symbolic integrations and mathematics started getting introduced into it. Probabilities and functions and all those things started getting introduced into it, because we started working towards the mathematical aspects of it and trying to see that how that mathematical aspects can be put into a AI program, which is in the form of 0 and 1 and binaries and so on and so forth. Okay, this is some of the pictures that you can see of the machines, that were trying to build at that point of time. One in the early after the early 1900s and around 1990, the big breakthrough came through IBM, where IBM built their deep blue system, which was able to defeat and this was again a chess. Again, that's what I said, that this all started with like some kind of gaming, to build a gaming kind of intelligence. He defeated the world champion Gary Kasparov through a match which was played against a deep blue system. From my perspective, if I look at it, it was a big instance of a human competing with a machine and human losing from a machine. And that's how things have started moving quick. In again 2011, and again IBM being ahead of its time, IBM built something which is called as Watson, which again defeated humans as far as the quizzing contest was concerned. And all of these aspects bring newer and newer paradigm shifts in the way the machines, the architectures, the algorithms were written, and even the computers were getting more and more powerful. uh, in 2016, again, Google DeepMind. You might have heard about it. You might have read about it. The DeepMind is the brain of Google AI ecosystem within Google as an organization. A lot of these Gemini AI or Gamma or all these LLM models, generative AI models that you see right now, these all comes from this small group of engineers, which works within the Google ecosystem. They work in an organization called as DeepMind. They built a program which is called AlphaGo, and an AI program that defeated world champion Lee at the game of Go. So again, a very very realistic relationship between gaming and the maths and the science of computers. Again,
Sorry. Don't you like a sound?
yeah. Sorry, any questions?
No question. Please go ahead.
Okay. And then the current scenario, where we are very very close to it. Everybody in this group must have seen this advent. 2017 is the time when OpenAI came up with a language model which was called as GPT, and the full form is generative pre-trained transformers. So transformer is a kind of algorithm with which the language models were generally built. So transformer, BERT, word to vec, these were the things which were between 2011 till 2017. These were the things were getting built, and in that 2017 was the time when OpenAI came out with something called as GPT. That was a concept that was given by them. They published a lot of papers around it, and they started working towards it. you know. And then 2020 they released something called as GPT-3. That was based on that was based on something which is called as natural language processing model, and that has impressed many with the language capabilities. uh, and and again, it has to be very please read it very very carefully, that this is based on natural language processing. When I say NLP, so that's where the way you and me, the way we interact with each other, the way we talk to each other, the GPT-3 model started understanding that kind of language, started giving Q&A in that sense, started answering questions, Q&A started happening. So it was a very, very powerful, capable model. And that before this, it was not never called as large language model. It was just called as NLP model, or BERT model, or that kind of a transformer model, where it started becoming very, very powerful. Uh, and I'll start talking to you. And now we are reaching towards present day, you know, where we talk about uh, BERT, we talk about auto ML, we talk about transfer learning, and we talk about BARD, we talk about T5, we talk about GPT-3, we talk about deep learning. And in the core of all this is generative AI. um, and and if you sum up all of this, if you sum all the transformer models, all the large language models, all the NLP models, that's what it is called in the present day scenario as generative AI. I will further go deep down that how generative AI is getting related with AI. But from now perspective, you can just imagine this is a new term which has been created just to sum up all of this together in one bucket, you know. And I would definitely like to, you know, bring to your notice that GPT-3 is the one that we talked about. Now we are in the stage where we talk about GPT 3.5, GPT-4, GPT 4.0. And why I'm using GPT as a reference, because GPT, OpenAI GPT is one such technology which really transformed the whole ecosystem, which was really the paradigm shift, because of which a new industry got created. And that's how we after GPT 3.5, we started calling them, we didn't call them transform models, we didn't call them BERT models, we started calling them LLMs, which was large language models. And why they were called large language models? Because of the training data set, or the parameters, or the data points on which they were trained, they were humongous. So just to give an example, I have a separate slide on that as well, that if you look at GPT 3.5, that was trained on 175 billion parameters. You know, the current day models are some of the models which are getting trained on 1 trillion parameters model. And please don't get confused when I say parameters. You can just imagine it could be data points, it could be data points, it could be characters, it could, whichever way you want to think around it. uh, it could be character, it could be a token, it could be a word. But this is and now as we are going deeper into it, as we are as things are getting more and more complex, um, people have started it giving more and more different names. But to begin with, to start with, it was called 100 chat gpt, sorry, not chat gpt, but GPT 3.5 large language model was uh, was based on 175 billion parameters, which is nothing. You can imagine 175 billion characters or words, or some kind of denomination to represent a huge data, you know. And the beauty of it was, it was able to talk to people the way we are talk we the machine was able to talk to human, the way we talk to each other. So, and that was the reason it was a paradigm shift. Okay, now we are talking about the future, where it could be, you know, the next wave of this is looking about, we are talking about generative AI right now, but possibly in 6 to 9 months or a year down the line, we will talk about autonomous systems. Everybody knows about autonomous cars. There's huge testing. going into the going in the word right now that let's start building autonomous cars. And we want to build driverless cars. So we are looking at it. Predictive analytics is a big. It's already existing, but it will change the way generative AI, the way the AI has transformed it. Human-centered AI. We slowly and steadily, the world is trying to do that. Let's get Elon Musk is trying to get robots which are as capable as humans in their behavior, in their emotional question, in their work, in their knowledge, in their understanding. Uh, and then the explainable AI, where you can do reasoning. You are doing Q&A right now, but you are not able to do reasoning with an AI ecosystem. So the future is that you can have emotional discussions, you can have reasoning discussions, you can have that level of discussions, and this is all bringing and all of this is getting more and more and complex. All of this is getting more and more deeper in terms of intricacies, in terms of complexities, and in terms of educated and more understandable and more uh, engineering graduates like you guys, or the faculties, the engineering graduates or faculties, or the ecosystem around it, who should be having more deeper understanding how these things work. you know so I'll say that today's discussion, today's topic is very, very relevant, and I want to drive this topic more towards the industry, and just not just keeping it more academic, but possibly I would like to give you a flavor that where industry is thinking and how industry is thinking on these lines. Okay. uh, the way I explained, and these are all new terms. I think just I'm just pushing these slides towards you, so that if you get to know about some of these things, you can always, hey, I read this somewhere. you know um, Self-aware AI, mind-aware AI, limited memory AI, reactive machine AI. You're trying to functionalize the AI ecosystem, and then based on the capabilities is general AI, super AI, narrow AI. You're trying to give a skin and a bones to a body, and trying to make it more beautify in that sense. Okay. Domains, and so the domains of AI has broadened a lot. We used to talk about, so the DS stands for decision science, fuzzy logic, cognitive computing, SWAM intelligence, and this is going and growing beyond artificial intelligence. But there's a big sync between the two. As the things becoming more and more complex, we will move toward decision science, cognitive, and so on. But within the artificial intelligence ecosystem, in the current parlance, so NLP, which is the part of generative AI, other than generative AI, which we are where we are going to go deeper into it, but other AI ecosystem is equally more important. But that's not the natural language, that's not the part of NLP. And in my further slide, I'll explain that there's a difference between when we talk about generative AI and NLP, and the science of vision, the science of speech, the science of expert systems, and so on and so forth. Okay. So it's a chat GPT quote itself, that artificial intelligence is like a teenager. It's full of potential, but it is still have a lot to learn. So my first part A, I should say, is the learn AI before it learns you to replace you. And right now it is the right time to learn, create, and do AI. That's the way I will move forward in my next portion. Any questions if you have, or I should move?
Participant may raise their hand, in case they have the question. Otherwise, we can open the window at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll move to the next slides. Okay, so now I'm moving deeper into generative AI fundamentals, where, how, when, and so on and so forth. These are some of the relevant questions that everybody is asking these days. Is generative AI a threat or an opportunity for business? And believe me, I will relate it more towards business because that's where people should start applying it. That's where people should start thinking about, and that's where the academia, the research, and students and faculty should start moving towards their thought process. How exactly can I use generative AI to gain a competitive edge in terms of your studies, in terms of your research papers, and whichever way. And then one of the major aspects is security. How can I use my data securely with generative AI? And my session goal is that describe how generative AI is being to revolutionize the practical AI application, describe how generative AI model works, discuss their potential business use cases, describe how a data organization can find initial success with generative AI, and recognize the potential ethical usage of it and possibly in workplace usage of it. So if you look, that's from where I started. Generative AI is nothing but a more deeper and a complex science, where it's a subset of artificial intelligence. So when it all started, it was just an artificial intelligence, and it was defined like a multidisciplinary science of computer science, which is capable of emulating and surpassing human intelligence. Then came machine learning, where learning from existing data and making predictions and without being explicitly programmed. So machine learning objective was that without programming anything, just from the data, there should be some way or some technology where the programming can happen on its own through a learning process. Um, Deep learning was when deep learning came in, we started talking about neural networks. Uses artificial neural networks to learn from data. And then came generative AI, which is one of the aspects of deep learning. As I shared in my previous slides, that it is one of the subsets of AI where natural language processing or large language models take a very, very key initiative. Okay. And now now what is generative AI? So it's a subfield for AI that focus on generating new context or new content. Um, and that's where the word generative is. It can generate something which is new based on a learning curve. It could generate images, it could generate text, it could generate audio, video, music, code, objects, and it can also generate new and synthetic data. Okay. But that's where the phrase is coming, generative AI, that you can generate something using AI as a technology, using very, very different models. Could be an LLM model, could be an encoding model, could be embedding models, could be vision model, could be speech model, and so on and so forth. So what is and then now we are going a little bit deeper into it. What is a generative AI? What's a generative models? Because you'll keep hearing terms, GPT model, BERT model, Cohere model, Llama models, and so what are these? Why? And they're all generative models. Stable diffusion model, and so on and so forth. So you keep on hearing this term. So it's very, very important that you know what is a model. A branch of ML modeling which mathematically approximates the world. And how does it using the data objects, neural networks, and task. So it's all the three are very, very important. And neural networks is DNN, which we call, is very, very important to generate these models. And in the current context, uh, it has become more easier, much better to generate and to port these neural networks over a large infrastructure ecosystem. So you always had data with you. If you look at the previous scenarios, you always in the past, you have always had the data with you. You always had the task with you, but you never had the capability to have the data ported onto the neural networks. And when I say neural networks, that means the science of binary, zero and ones and matrices and so on and so forth, because the transformation of data from data towards the complex world of binary, zero, one matrices was, you need the infrastructure, you need the paradigm in the below who should be capable of doing this. Okay. So this could be in terms of image, it could be in terms of Q&A, and it could be in terms of speech. Okay. Why now? Again, this is the question which is very, very organic for anybody to ask. That what has happened now that we are able to do this? Suddenly there is a spree of large language models, generative AI model, vision model, um, uh, speech model. All these are coming into every month. There are 3 new models which are coming, more and more complex, more and more data parameters are coming into the ecosystem. What has happened, because of which these things have the transformation or the science has become improved so drastically in last, practically I should say, from 2018 till now, in last 6 years. What has happened? And specifically from last 2021, in last 3 years, what has happened so that these things have moved so quickly? 3 things are very, very important for this. We have got large and huge data sets with us. The world has stored in the form of your LinkedIn profiles, in the form of your Facebook profile, in the form of Wikipedias of the world, in form of Googles of the world, in form of your website traffic, like you're using Amazon, Flipkart, so on and so forth. So because all of this is generating zettabytes of data every single year. So there's a large data set which is available, which knows a lot about people like you and me, which knows a lot about how human behaves, which knows a lot about how human used to behave in the past and present, and how human wants things in the future. Since there is a lot of information available about us as humans, and that's the reason uh, you have enough material, you have enough raw material uh, to be used to be trained about us as individuals. Okay, us as human, as a species. The other advancement which has happened, and you must have heard about NVIDIA GPUs, graphic processing units, and so on and so forth. um, so data you have, but if you don't have the infrastructure, if you don't have the computational power to harness, to process that data in a limited span of time, then it's of no use. And that was the major problem which Word had in 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Let's assume they had data, but they didn't had the computational infrastructure. When I say computational infrastructure, let me give you an example. The iPhone that we have right now, the latest one, 16G, iPhone 16 Max and Pro, whatever we say, that is much, much more powerful than the fastest system, fastest supercomputer in the world in 1985 or even in 1990s. So one individual has more power in terms of compute, in terms of storage. We have storage which is 128 GB is the bare minimum storage that everybody of us is having. And all our data is filled. All our iPhones, Android phones are filled with data. The compute power, the processing. Nobody buys a camera these days because our phone itself has become so much capable in terms of processing power that it can take images, it can process images, and you can download and upload through WhatsApp and so on and so forth. So all of this is happening because you have very, very high, very, very powerful um, infrastructures in the form of servers, in form of GPUs, and so on and so forth, because of which you can process a lot of data. And 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 to bridge the gap between both of them, to connect between both of them, from data to computational power, you have got innovative models now, which we call as large language models, which are based on architectures. And when I say these innovative DL models, these are the architectures. You can go and read more about them when you can Google them about them. Is generative adversarial networks, transformer architecture, reinforcement learning from human feedback. So these are various ways and means and architectures through which these large language models or generative AI models are being created and being trained using the large data sets and as well as computational power. Okay. Uh, with which what has happened is we are we are able to do a lot of intelligence things. And I'm just listing some of the use cases. We are able to generate new content. We are able to generate questions and answers. We have virtual assistant now. Every website that you go in, you go to make my trip, you go to booking.com, you go to any website, everybody is having a chat bot there. And you can, instead of instead of searching a website, you can ask questions and answers, and you can get a very 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 realistic, as if somebody's answering you sitting at the back end of the interface. So that's called virtual assistants. Content personalizations, like you can give a character to that chat bot, that how it's want. Language style transfer, you can on the go, you can change the language from Hindi to English, from English to Arabic, from Arabic to Spanish. You can do all that. You can create poetry, you can create story, you can do creative writing, and you can do translations. You can do code generation. uh, I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but uh, the word like code generation or co-pilots or these assistants, code assistants, which has come up, which has taken almost like 25-30% of the coding mundane work which used to be done at every step by the software engineers. Uh, but it does not mean that you stop learning the coding ecosystem, because if you don't know the coding ecosystem, you will never be able to uh, give a feedback loop to these coding assistants, that where is the problem and how is the problem. So these are some of the use cases, and we will go further deeper into these use cases. um, then image generation, video, 3D generation, and audio generation. These are some of the use cases which are very, very prevalent from the industry perspective. Okay. So as I was talking about, what is an LLM? So generative AI has two things. One is called foundational model, and foundation on top of that, which is called as LLMs. Foundational model is a large ML model trained on vast amount of data and fine-tuned for more specific language understanding and generations. And some of those models that you might have heard, it could be around GPT-4, BERT, MPT 7 billion parameters, Llama 405 billion parameters, Llama 90 billion parameters, Llama 3 billion parameters, and so on and so forth. Cohere 90 billion parameters, and so on and so forth. Okay, and based and on these foundational models can be used for creating large language models, which is like the training. Once these foundational models get trained, they started getting named as large language models. Okay, how does it work? And I'm just giving you a glimpse here, but I'll go a little bit more deeper into it. And possibly in the previous call, somebody asked a question around hallucination, that there's a big problem of hallucination and how can we solve that, and so on. So I'll go a little bit deeper in that aspect as well. Um, so, and this is what I was talking about. You give input data, which could be in form of books, Wikipedia, scientific research, crawl data from internet, and custom curated data sources. All of them has to. So this process called as encoding and decoding. Input data has to be tokenized, or the way of reading it as, this input data needs to be converted into numeric representation. And numeric representation, I'm just pushing some words to you guys right now. We will get a little bit deeper into it in the coming slide, like embeddings. you know, something that is called as embedding, which converts the characters using a embedding model to numeric numbers, you know. And then these embeddings or token embeddings are put what they started doing is that they put words in similar meaning in a closed vector space. I'm introducing all these words like embeddings, tokenization, vector, and so on and so forth right now. But I will go deeper into it in my coming slide. And when I say vectors, again, that I mean is you are able to put it into a matrix format. You are able to put into a database where it can be searched, it can be put next to each other. So we are trying to create relationships, you know. LLM, large language models, is all about creating relationship uh, in the form that what could be the next word, what could be the next character which should be coming after this word. For example, if a small kid says I am going to, I am 5 year old and I am going to, so the large language model should be able to interpret that, hey, he's a kid, he's 5 year old, most likely he will say I'm going to either park, I am going to either school, or I am going to sleep, you know. So these were the I'm going to eat food. So the LLMs are becoming slowly and steadily intelligent, that that these are the 4 5 options, or these are the 10 options, that when somebody is writing that I'm a 5 year old kid, I am going to, if you fill in the blanks, then there could be these 10 options. Okay. And that's where human feedback comes into the picture. Nothing happens without human feedback. Nothing happens without human intelligence. Nothing happens without human intervention. So whatever we say, even in today's all the advent of AI and all that ecosystem, uh, AI human interface is not going anywhere. But what we are trying to do is that we are trying to reduce the human burden. Human will be doing the 70% of the more granular work rather than the mundane work. And so human gives a feedback that this small kid can go to school. This. So LLM can ask a next question. Hey, yes, you where are you going? You can be going to school, but uh, then which class you are in? That could be the next question that LLM can ask. So that's how this is like Q&A that you are trying to do with LLM. And then this human feedback has to be further converted from a numerical version to the language version. So it's like you spread neurals, you combine them, human feedback comes into the picture in between, and then you again spread them and then again combine them. So this whole process is called encoding and decoding. You give input, you get output. So that's called human driven LLM, human feedback, input tokenization, and output text. This is what it is called. And I'm just introducing some. So this was the basic one. Now I'm just giving you some uh, words that you can if you go and search in Google, you might figure out more about it. Family of models and what they do. Falcon, MPT, Dolly. A lot of people must have heard about Dolly. This is a model which was created by OpenAI, and this is OpenAI and Databricks is something that they created this particular model. Then GPT 3.5, then BART, and so on and so forth. And these are created by, and if you see, all these are created from 2018 onwards. 2018, it's all started with Google when they came out with BERT model. That was the early breakthrough. And then on top of that, people started building more detailed, bigger, larger model. And if you look at this slide, everybody else is like look at GPT and Fallon T5, which is Google model. Uh, GPT was 175 billion parameters, model size or parameters. Fallon T5 was 540 billion. So it was as small as 80 million to 540 billion. So this was the time when things started moving very, 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 very rapidly in the world of LLMs. You know, common LLM tasks, which we have already said about this in our previous slide. So I'll skip this slide. I'll move into the use cases at a later stages. Okay. So now it's important again for us to understand that LLMs are also of two flavors. So we started the generative AI. We are moving towards large language models, and then we are further going deeper into it. That there are two flavors of LLMs. One is called open source model. The other one is called proprietary models. When I say open source model, is the models uh, which anybody and everybody can go and download it. Their weights and biases. Again, weights and biases is also a LLM term, where it's like they give you the entire ecosystem. They tell you how I have created this model, how I have built this model, what are the parameters of this model. And if you want, you can copy this model from open source. You can copy this model from uh, from Hugging Face, and you can run it in your ecosystem, in your system, in your cloud ecosystem, and so on and so forth, as your model. And then you can do training and inference. You can train it. You can start using it as your own model. So in that sense, Meta, Llama is one of the most, everybody must be knowing Facebook. So Facebook is now Meta. So Meta is building a lot of these models, and they're releasing it to the public, so that other than industry, if academia wants to use them, they can use it. Okay. Databricks is other organization. Cohere is the other organization who keep on releasing their model in open source way. But if you're using it for commercial use, you have to pay it. If you're using for academia use, you don't have to pay it anything. Now the other set of models which are very, very popular, which is Chat GPT, GPT 4.0, GPT 4.5, Palm, Anthropic. These are the proprietary models. You can't download it from any open source word. You can't download it from the internet, and but you have to pay for them and start using it. uh, Chat GPT is one such. I'll go what Chat GPT was into it. So okay, so I'll talk about Chat GPT then there. Okay. Again, since we are talking to academia here, uh, the way, and from the business, from the industry perspective as well, there's no perfect LLM. There's no perfect large language model. It completely depends on what you need, how you need, what's the cost, what's the performance, what's the privacy, and all these parameters. When somebody uses or when somebody decides to use a large language model in industry. So as academia, or as the coming from the education segment, if you are aware about some of these aspects, that what Meta does, what Meta brings to a customer, to an enterprise customer onto the table, you will be able to guide the industry as well. Is it privacy? Is it quality? Is it performance? Is it cost? Because uh, a, a, a proprietary model is very, very expensive, but open source model is free. But it comes with its own permutations and combinations as well. Okay. There are few technologies, and this is like going a little bit more deeper into it. Till now we have talked about that these models are trained. LLMs are already pre-trained, you know but there are also scenarios where you don't want to. uh, Let me give an example, that your institute wants to use a large language model, but you don't want to use it for the entire world. You don't want that your large language model should be knowing about so one of the biggest problem when Chat GPT got launched, or GPT model got launched, that they were trained pre-COVID era. So if you ask anything to Chat GPT, when it got launched in 2022, so last training it happened was 2021. you know if you ask ChatGPT at that point of time, hey, what do you know about COVID? So ChatGPT was not aware of what is COVID, because it's COVID happened before its training. So it always used to throw some wrong answers about COVID. So it never knew about COVID, so it could never answer about COVID. So an organization of yours, if you want that, hey, I want to use large language model, I want to use I want to create a GPT kind of a scenario, or I want to create a chatbot for my organization, how to do it? Because I am not sure this particular open source model is trained about the faculties which are teaching in your institute. It's trained about the courses that you're having. It's trained about the fee structure that you're having. It's trained about the alumni that you have. So if you don't, if you have that kind of a scenario, why you will use a chat gpt, why you will use a gpt 4.0 model, because that's not solving your purpose. So what happens is, so these llm providers, that they started thinking, how can I make it useful more for the industry and more for the real world use cases? So what they did, they started doing something called fine tuning. uh, and what is fine tuning and how it works is the process of further training a pre-trained model on a specific task or a data set to adapt it for a particular application or domain. So if you want to use a GPT model for your institute, then you want it that GPT should be trained on the data set or on all the information that you have. But so for, and when you use that trained model, so trained model in this context a GPT-4, when you use a trained model, you train it on your data. That process of training is called as fine tuning. Okay. So if you see on the left hand side, it's large corpus of training data and small corpus of training data. So when I say small corpus of training data, you have very specific information about your institute. You fine tune it using very limited compute resources. When I say limited compute resources, that does not mean that it's like just one GPU or two GPU. Even then, it is like a humongous infrastructure. And then when you train it on your small data set, it becomes fine-tuned model, because it will start answering questions based on your information. Okay, it will start answering questions based on your application or your domain or your industry level, industry basis. So this is just a deeper way, or one of the other ways of using a large language model or generative AI model. Okay. And then it has further ways and means of doing it. It's like foundation model can be fine-tuned for specific tasks, and that task could be just a question and answer. That task could be just a sentiment analysis. That task could be named entity recognition. You know, so you had a huge big model, and that model can be further trained on very specific, to do very specific things. It shouldn't be doing all the things, because that's not the need of the hour for your organization or for any other organization, but it does few things very specific in nature and very close to you, very close to that information. How it will do that, it has its more technical details, which possibly I will share in the coming slides. And then domain adaptation, like uh, it's in the science domain. If you have researcher, if you see a research organization using it, so it will train that large language model on research papers or white papers, or or the scientific research journals and books and so on and so forth. If it is a finance data, you can train it on a finance data. If it is a legal data, you can train it on a legal data. Okay, this process is called as fine tuning. you know uh, Again, I'll take this context from the previous slide, that open source word, and since I'm talking to the education and the institute right now, academia right now, it's very important for you to understand that open source ecosystem is also rapidly, very fast, is very rapidly growing, and adoption of open source ecosystem is also becoming very relevant in the current scenario. A lot of industry a lot of research, a lot of industry, even the LLM builders, who are building their own large language models, they are using your ecosystem, the open source ecosystem, in a big way. And then mixing, workflow mixing, that you can use summarization, sentiment, content generation, and a lot of these things together and create one workflow from that perspective. Yeah, so this is just various ways and means of using it. Now, moving into the applications of generative AI. Everybody, I don't think so there will be anybody, there will be a single person in this conference today who has not used ChatGPT. So what was ChatGPT? An AI language model developed by OpenAI that can answer questions and generate human-like responses from text prompts. And again, prompt is a new thing that we are introducing right now. So I'm introducing a new word which is called prompt. So when you ask a question, so asking a question is called as prompt. Prompting Chat GPT to answer you based on the knowledge on which it is trained. So for example, if you ask Chat GPT the election result of Maharashtra, which came out 2 days back, Chat GPT will give some vague answer. Okay, because it's not trained on that. He doesn't know that. He doesn't have the knowledge base of that. But if you ask Chat GPT that who's the Prime Minister of India, or possibly who won the 2024 general election, Chat GPT might be able to tell you that answer. Or if you ask Chat GPT who's the winner of US election 2024, Chat GPT might give you a wrong answer, because he might say that the Trump is a winner, but Trump is not yet declared as a winner. We know notionally that yes, Trump has declared as a winner, but the fact of the matter is that it's not still official that Trump is the US president. Uh, so that's where Chat GPT, so whatever knowledge base Chat GPT has, Chat GPT will give you answers. It's very easy to make Chat GPT confused, because Chat GPT doesn't have any of its own character. Chat GPT doesn't have, you can't fine tune Chat GPT. You can't give uh, your own knowledge base to Chat GPT, because it's a product, it's a tool which has been created by OpenAI just for people to play. Uh, but what it did, it brought the revolution in the industry. It made it palpable. It was the paradigm shift through which whole industry turned around, and everybody realized, hey, this is such a great technology that it can be utilized for a lot of realistic things, because it was doing Q&A in a very simplistic, in a very easy way. So I'll not go more deeper into Chat GPT. So Chat GPT, again, it used to understand text, create content, debug code, education, research, translation, virtual assistant. you know um, I will not go deeper into this. Yeah, these are some of the things that it was. The model, so the architecture was GPT architecture. It was trained on very large scale data set. It can be, if you go for a commercial version of it, you can create an API based deployment. It has its own contextual understanding. It has its own, if you go the enterprise version of it, you can have a customization aspect to it by using Chat GPT 4 dot and those models. you know uh, Okay, so this is a small comparison. You can see that GPT 3.5, which was launched in June 2021, and GPT 4, which was launched in September 2021. Within an year, the data set on training data set on which it was trained is for GPT 3.5 was 175 billion parameters, whereas GPT 4 it went up to 1 trillion parameters. So a lot of things. It was a quantum jump, and it's still progress. But now the thing is that it has lots of its own competition, like Gemini is there, Claude is there, Cohere is there. So AWS, Oracle, Microsoft, all of them, Meta, they all are bringing and coming up with their own large language models every day and day out. But GPT, Chat GPT, they were the one who were the industry, who brought the paradigm shift in the industry. Uh, these are some of the tuning parameters like engine, prompt, tokens. Tokens is like what is the maximum question, input question that you can ask. Uh, Temperature. These are the industry terms. Some of those terms which generally you can utilize. That what is the what temperature means, the parameter that controls the randomness in the generated text. How much probability you can how much probability guidance you can give to the Chat GPT ecosystem. you know okay, so everybody, we all are working towards one thing, which is all about money. We are trying to see why even this topic has been relevant, because this has created a whole industry in itself. you know in 2022, just after the launch of GPT, the industry was supposed to be 2020, in 2022 it was 16 to 17 billion dollars. Now the forecast is just the NLP or the AI industry is going to be, by 2027, is almost going to $50 billion. The AI market, not just the NLP market or generative AI market, the overall market, because it's not just include the model itself, but the whole ecosystem around it, it's going to be close to $1.6 trillion market by possibly next 2 years. And then 10% of the worldwide coding will be moving towards the bots. That does not mean that people are going 10% of the world which will lose their jobs. Nothing like it. The mundane task or very simple, easy tasks will be moving towards the bots and so on and so forth. But the more complex places, more and more human intelligence and talent will be required to do more and more complex things. So it's important for us to keep ourselves updated and upgraded based on the technology. Uh, you must be thinking why I'm bringing customer aspect, why I'm bringing industry into it. It's important to understand everybody, even IITs has been promoted these days to look towards industry and try to solve their problem, uh, uh, because the more we get closer to the industry, the more adoption, the more revenue, more detail, more ecosystem can be created. Industry wants two things. Industry wants improve their efficiency. Industry wants to improve their customer success, customer experience. Industry wants to better their decision making system. Industry wants to analyze large set of data. Industry wants to automate things. Industry wants to reduce their cost, and industry wants to utilize cutting edge AI technology to stay ahead of their competitive curve. Okay, I'll skip this. Okay, so if you look in the current scenario, Meta, which is nothing but which is nothing but Facebook. Why Facebook is bringing more and more large language model? Because they need more and more data uh, to train and make their models more powerful. So they are investing big time into their ecosystem. With that, they want we should be able to spend more time with WhatsApp as an ecosystem. They want to create WhatsApp as a business ecosystem. They want to build their entire business landscape around one. Just to give an example, like around WhatsApp like products. Apple has recently bought Apple Intelligence, which is nothing but Apple wants us to get hooked more its iPhones. And one of the ways to sell more iPhones is to make it more intelligent, make it more interactive in nature, make it more conversational in nature. And then Chat GPT has more. If you look at Chat GPT, has more monthly users because it's helping us in our day-to-day work than Netflix and so on and so forth. Netflix, Amazon, and Disney Hotstar and so on and so forth. So the thing is this: it's getting realized by the industry, and industry is adopting it and using it in the best possible ways. Just to give you, so these are some of the customers who are already using it. LinkedIn, which we guys use day in, day out. LinkedIn is very, very heavily utilizing AI ecosystem, a generative AI ecosystem to make it product more and more suitable for people like us. Bosch from engineering, Western Digital, Single Life. It's just a variety of customers who use it. Search is one of the major use cases what anybody use generative AI for. You know, uh, and if you look at it, now there's a big shift that there are a lot of new startups that are using LLM ecosystem to build on top of their AI services to create SaaS-based applications. You know, um, for example, uh, I don't know, you have heard about this something called as Core Rover. Core Rover is been built on LLMs and AI services. If you go to IRCTC website, if you go to IRCTC website and you see that chatbot is there, or you can speak to that, and he can give you an answers in your language, and he can you speak, so speech to text, you can speak, the text will get converted, and you can get answers either in speech format or in text format. You get all these automated calls these days. Hey, if you want to buy a credit card, uh, please press one. So when you press one, it's not a person who's sitting in the loop, it's the bot who's sitting in the loop. So industry is trying to automate a lot of these things, because if you put a human in the loop, you might be able to a human can be able is able to do 10 calls in a day. But if you put a chatbot in the loop, that chatbot can be able to do 100 calls in a day. But it's not that human is going out of the loop. The human will start doing the chatbot will do the initial verification, and all verified calls will start moving towards human. So it's like increasing their productivity. So a SaaS ecosystem is getting built on top of these AI services. And for that, what all is very important: the right set of infrastructure, right set of data, right set of AI services, very, very important. you know uh, so when I say infrastructure, it's not one server, two server, three servers. It's like massive, massive, massive super clusters. Just remember these terms. You can Google it, you can read more about it, and possibly I won't be able to go deeper into some of those things right now. It's like just an hour or 15-minute call that I have to finish. It's like super clusters or super AI GPU clusters. We So you might have heard about GPUs, you might have heard about NVIDIAs of the world. So a super cluster or cluster is something about a cluster which is not just one GPU, two GPU, three GPU. We're talking about 131,000 GPUs in connected via one cluster. As That's the kind of massive infrastructure being utilized to train the data. The AI training is happening on that kind of infrastructure. It could start as small as like 64 GPUs, and it could be going as big as like 131,000 GPUs. So people like Meta, people like Elon Musk, which is XAI, they use uh, close to 100,000 GPUs in one go to train their data sets. you know just passing by slides where you can see the latest generations of GPU that people talk about. you know okay, so I talked about, let me move to a few important things. Okay. Okay, so somebody asked a question in the previous session, that why my model hallucinates, you know, and how could I fix that? So there is something called as RAG. That's the industry term, retrieval augmented generative. That's called the term. So RAG is something that you can understand as you have this large language model in between. Uh, Instead of training your large language model over a big, massive data sets coming from internet, if you want to if you give if you want to ask that large language model, hey, Mr. Model, don't use don't use the information which is publicly available, but you use the information which I am providing you, because I have the knowledge base, I have the data set with me, because I am coming from academia, I have all the information for which I need this information. So you create that information, you create the database, you create that information, you create that business system. And when your large language models start taking data from your existing databases, from your applications, from your business system, this whole terminology is called as RAG. Okay, you can study more about it and how it gets happened, because ultimately, if you remember, you know, I earlier talked about uh, all of your data needs to be converted, because your data is in the form of Word or PPT or PDF and so on and so forth. Okay, but your information has to be stored in a format in which a large language model should be able to understand uh, your data. And your large language model understand numerical data, it's in a form of 0 and 1. So your data needs to be stored in form of 0 and 1. That particular process of converting and storing the data, storing a PPT file or a Word document in a numerical form, is called vectorization of the data. You know, you have something called as embeddings convert let me try and see if I have the diagram. Okay, yeah. So embeddings, so this diagram talks about it. Embedding convert the knowledge base into a 0 and 1. Then it got stored in a vector database, and then it got connected through a loop which is called as RAG. So that whole ecosystem is called RAG agentic. The process of doing converting the data from Word document or PPT to the uh, to the numerical 0 and 1 format, that's done through embeddings. And the database and the knowledge base that through which where it gets stored is called vector database. So these are three very important things that you should be remembering. you know and so if you look at this particular slide, why RAG is important. LLM challenges: in attempt to answer question outside of expertise, LLMs hallucinate, and this is a major problem. To solve this problem, we use RAG architecture, mitigates hallucination by grounding answers in enterprise data architectures. RAG can provide citations for generated responses. RAG extends the model by incorporating domain and enterprise specific data. RAG brings up to date data to the large language model. So if today we provide this information that Maharashtra result has got declared using a RAG architecture to any of the large language model, and just create a loop of it. If you ask that large language model, hey, what is the result of the outcome Maharashtra election, it will be able to give you a correct answers. Okay. One very important thing: security. Your data encryption at rest, your control models, your integration with identity management, and your deployment, because data is the new oil. It's very important, as an industry talks about it. Industry wants to hear about it. So if somebody wants to get into the domain of security industry, so they should be knowing, and this is again a different subject altogether within the responsible AI, security AI, and so on and so forth. I'll skip this slide. Again, the use cases across business function, from customer operation, from marketing, sales, product deployment, strategy, finance, and so on and so forth. You have multiple use cases. Okay, so I think I'm left with uh, uh, one thing that I want to talk about is services. So we talked about generative AI services. Now I'll just simply go through this slide, and possibly in the next 3-4 minutes I'll sum it up. So language service is like, translation language, extracting insight from data through natural language processing like sentiment analysis and entity recognition and so on and so forth. Then speech to text and text to speech. That's the other service. Vision is like pitch, you can create images, you can analyze images, you can create videos from images, you can create images to videos and so on and so forth. And document understanding is like you have a lot of these PDF documents, you have a lot of Word documents, you want to read those documents, you want to extract value from those documents. So these are different AI services coming from different vendors using different technologies that industry generally uses. Okay, I'm more or less, I want to give this slide to possibly one slide. Okay, so and if you look at the industry, life sciences, they say they have like um, disruptions. If I talk about healthcare is going to disrupt massively, life sciences is going to disrupt massively, media and entertainment because of the innovative AI technologies that are there, professional services, healthcare, media, all of this are going through massive disruptions right now. I'll take one slide, possibly. Yeah, I think this is okay. So this is the use cases from various industry segments. Energy, which is like oil and gas, financial services, your bank, BFSIs, your NBFCs, so on and so forth. Government, like Aadhaar, like PAN card, like IRCTC, all these use cases, they deploy big time. Manufacturing is like customer satisfaction, time to market, repository, voice-based data generation. Then retail, you get into a retail store, you move out without any human intervention. You simply pay the bill, buy the product, and come out of the automatic deduction of the money. You get the right information, just no human intervention, just using through AI driven technology. You can get into a food a retail shop and you come out without getting any human intervention. And AI healthcare use cases like patient care, hospital management, then cancer detection, X-ray report, X-ray detection, fracture detection, or retina, eye problems, all these things using vision, using a lot of these things, are massively utilizing AI, generative AI as a technology, to augment their services, to increase their productivity and so on and so forth. So with this, I would like to end my, I had a few other slides, but I will definitely like to end my session with this. Now I'm open for any questions if you have. I think we are left the last 5 minutes.
Okay. So there is one question in the chat box. Can we say fine-tuned models are small language models? If not, then what is the major difference?
Can we say, what's the question?
Yeah. Can we say fine-tuned models are small language models? If not, then what is the major difference?
Okay, no. So SLMs, that's a industry term for small language model. It's called SLMs. So fine-tuning is a technology. The way you write a command. If you are a computer scientist, you write command in Python. To copy and this and that. So in a way, fine-tuning is a way of training a small data set over a large language model. It's not nowhere linked with SLM. So you will use that same large language model, which is like GPT 3.5 or GPT 4, but GPT 3.5 and 4 doesn't have the information about your institute. BPIT as an institute, they don't have that information, but you want that model to have that information. So you can't train the whole model. Instead of training the whole model, you use fine tuning as a technology just to take a very basic aspect of the training, and then you use that so that you can get the right answer for BPT as an organization.
Any other question from the audience or the participants? Okay. I would like to say it is a very nice session. In fact, a very informative session. And looking at the time frame, I mean, it is on
Oh
the
yeah,
throat.
absolutely.
It's been
It's
there more than 4 hours.
9:30.
I can see. I mean, okay. So another question is being there though. I mean, can you explain SLM in brief?
Yeah. Okay. So SLM is small language models. SLM is, you can consider that a model which has been built for very specific data set. You know, or for example, you can consider that SLM is okay. So when I said GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 is built on 1 trillion parameter model, okay, so that means the data set is so huge. It's like 1 trillion characters or 1 trillion parameters. It's like that kind of a data set. You're training it on an ocean of data. But SLM is like, it will be trained on 2 billion parameter model or 1 billion parameter model or 60 million parameter model or 80 million parameter model. So it will be trained, for example, let's take healthcare as an example. What it does, in healthcare, if you take hospitals, so anything which is related to hospital management, if you create that model where just the information about hospital management is being provided, like patient name, nurse name, equipment, uh, 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 patient in, patient out, medicine. So that's not a very huge data set. That's not a 100 petabytes of data. That's possibly even just a 1 terabyte of data set, or even 100 GB of data set. So to train 100 GB of data set, you don't need 175 billion parameter model. You can do it in an 80 million parameter model. And the more specific you get into a model, uh, you don't need much accuracy. You can compromise with the accuracy because it's a small data set, it's a small variance. Even if it's going to hallucinate, it's not going to give me if you ask a patient name, it might say, hey, my Mr. Patient is Abhishek Dikshit and Abhishek Sharma. He might get confused between Abhishek Dikshit and Abhishek Sharma, but he will not say, hey, he will not say Abhishek Dikshit and India. Okay, so the hallucination will not be of that aspect. Hallucination will be of Abhishek Dikshit and Abhishek Sharma. Hallucination will not be from Abhishek Dikshit lives in India, because we never asked about India. Okay, so when you confine it in a smaller data set, you train it over a smaller data set. That's called SLM actually.
Thank you. Any other question? I mean, anybody?
I think somebody raised a hand in between.
Okay. Oh, I guess. Okay, I would like to say, I mean, a big thank you to you. I mean, it actually gives a very good oversight, I mean, of the things, and it actually set up the tone of the 6-day FDP altogether.
Yeah, I was going through agenda. It's full of AI.
Actually, it is being there. I mean, yeah, like you just mentioned, the domains. So it is widespread in all the chunks of the life. So probably sooner or later, people will get to know about these things and to use it. I mean, it is sometimes back, it was like Google. So the
Yeah.
search engine is being there to look for anything. They go for Google. And now it is more like a paradigm shift where everybody is trying to get to the chat GPT. I mean, they feel like that they will be able to get everything that is being there.
No, you're right. You're right. But I think industry is moving very, very quick. Uh, I don't know how many people have experienced about Perplexity. People should go and look towards Perplexity. I think it's going to, I'll not say it will replace Google, but it's giving a tough competition. Established by an Indian based out of a Bits, I think it's a Bits Pilani pass out. He's doing wonders. His company is already worth close to $7 billion, $7 to $8 billion. He is doing wonders. He's giving competition to Google search using AI as a technology. So that's the its industry is moving. And so my only message to academia or this education stream is be close to industry, because the more closer to industry you are, the more pragmatic you will become, uh, as far as the employability is concerned, or anything relevant to that is concerned. uh, Books are very, very important. They give you the groundwork, but what's happening in and around with industry is also very, very important.
So that concludes the session for day one. A sincere thank you to Mr. Abhishek Dikshit for sharing his expertise on generative AI. We hope today's session has provided valuable insights.
We'd also like to thank all of our participants for joining us today and being a part of these enriching sessions. As we conclude day one, we look forward to continuing this journey tomorrow with more interesting sessions and discussions.
We wish you
Thank
all
you.
a
Thanks a
great
lot.
evening and we'll see you tomorrow for day two.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Achal, Dr. Achal, and the BPTB team, BPID team to invite me. I think I really thoroughly enjoyed this session. Looking forward for your flourishing sessions in next 5 days. One last thing that I will say, that I was speaking on my personal capacity, not as Oracle or a Microsoft person. So just wanted to get it in the record. That's it. Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice with you.
Thank you. Thank you all the participants. I hope that it's a good day and good sessions, and we will carry on this legacy for next few days. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the next session. Thank you very much.